Number 5. Vladimir Levin. Vladimir Leonidovich Levin was a hacker who in 1995 was able to break into Citibank's computers and allegedly steal around $10 million by rewriting it to various global accounts. The interesting part about this man's hacking was that he didn't use the internet to commit this crime. Instead, he tapped into telecommunication systems and listened to the customers rattle off their private account information so that he could use those details later on to obtain the money. When he later on was arrested, only $400,000 of his winnings were able to be recovered by the authorities. He was sentenced to 3 consecutive years in prison and had to pay $240,000 for the damages he made. Number 4. Max Ray Butler. The man on the interwebs known as Iceman was a computer security expert who turned into one of the most notorious hackers to ever be seen. Iceman stole credit card numbers and ran up $86 million in fraudulent charges. He operated a forum online known as Carter's Market, where hackers were able to buy and sell financial data they had stolen. Butler got arrested a few years later and is serving 13 years in prison as we speak. Number 3. Anonymous. Identified in public by wearing Guy Fawkes masks, Anonymous, or Anon as they're also called, are a hacktivist group that publicize themselves by attacking the Vatican, the FBI, the CIA, PayPal, Sony, MasterCard, Visa, the Chinese, the Israeli, the Tunisian, the Ugandan governments, and of course many more. They have clarified their intent, which is to attack internet censorship and control. Anonymous or Anon are still doing their work to this day. Number 2. Albert Gonzalez. This man had for 2 very long years stolen credit cards from the netizens. This was recorded to be the biggest credit card theft in the history of mankind. After stealing several credit cards, Gonzalez had accumulated approximately 170 million credit cards and ATM numbers. He did all of this by installing a sniffer and sniffing out all the computer data from internal corporate networks. This man was later arrested and sentenced to 20 years in federal prison. Number 1. Hamza Bendelladj. The man from Algeria, Mr. Hamza Bendelladj, was able to spread his very own malware tool creation, Spy Eye, through personal sales and forums over the course of 2 years. A large number of computers got infected with this malware, which had the ability to obtain significant information regarding the user's login details into his or her devices, and more importantly, bank accounts. The hacker then used this obtained information and hacked his way into more than 200 banks across the US and stole around $280 million from these bank accounts. The authorities were able to identify and catch this man after a long chase for 2 years. The hacks were so malicious that it was believed that Mr. Bendelladj could get a sentence of up to 65 years behind bars. Some rumors even claimed that he could be executed, even though there is no death penalty for cyber criminals, regardless of how much money this man stole. The US estimated that he owes at least $14 million in fines for his actions, and he will be facing many years in a cell.